Max!
On one sunny day, Tilly and Max were sat in their treehouse, thinking about their next adventure. Suddenly, the phone rang, and their Uncle Joe invited them on a tandem skydiving trip. They couldn't say no. Even though the idea of jumping out of an aeroplane sounded both thrilling and terrifying. Uncle Joe, a professional skydiving instructor, had been promising for years to show them the ropes. Now that they were finally old enough, the time had come. Tilly and Max looked excited. Early on a bright Saturday morning, they arrived at the airfield. Tilly adjusted her helmet, looking at the tiny aeroplane they were about to board. Max stood beside her, fidgeting with the straps on his jumpsuit. "Are you scared?" Max asked. Tilly took a deep breath. "A little, but mostly excited. What about you?" Mostly scared," Max admitted. "But it's gonna be amazing, right?" A little later, Uncle Joe called from the side of the aeroplane. "It's going to be unforgettable," he said. "Don't worry, I will be with you the whole time." As the plane ascended after takeoff, Tilly and Max watched out of one of the small windows. The view was breathtaking. Fields stretched out like green quilt, and the houses looked very small. But it wasn't long before the plane leveled out, and Uncle Joe announced, "All right, everybody, we're almost ready." The doors opened. A rush of wind filled the cabin, and Tilly felt her heart race. Uncle Joe told Max everything will be all right, and to enjoy the jump. "You're first, buddy," he said. "Remember to keep your head up and enjoy the view." Max nodded, his hands shaking slightly as he stepped to the edge. Then, with a whoosh, he jumped out and started falling through the sky. "Okay then, Tilly, it's your turn next," said Uncle Joe, securing her harness. Tilly barely had time to process what was happening before it was time to jump. The free fall was like nothing Tilly and Max had ever felt. The wind roared in their ears and their stomach did flips, but the view was incredible. The world below seemed both vast and tiny at the same time, and for a moment all they could do was laugh. This was freedom. After a few seconds that felt like both an eternity and an instant, the parachutes deployed. The rush slowed, and they began to glide gently. They headed towards an island that stood out against the turquoise water. "Let's land there," Tilly shouted, pointing her parachute towards the island's sandy beach and green palms. It looked like something out of a movie. As they landed softly on the sand, Max ran up, grinning ear to ear. "We did it," he said. Uncle Joe landed shortly afterwards and said, "You both did great. Look at where we ended up." The island was pristine. The beach was lined with smooth shells and tiny crabs scuttling in the sand. A cluster of tall palm trees provided shade, and the water lapped gently at the shore. Uncle Joe pulled out a small radio and called for their return boat to take them home. "We'll have some time before the boat arrives," he said. "Why don't you explore a bit, you two?" And so Tilly and Max didn't need to be asked twice. They wandered down the beach, collecting colourful shells and dipping their feet in the cool water. Tilly found a piece of driftwood that looked like a giant's walking stick, and Max laughed as a curious crab scurried sideways right past his shoes. After a while, Uncle Joe set up a picnic under the shade of a large palm tree. Sandwiches, fresh fruit, and juice boxes appeared from their packs. Tilly bit into a ripe slice of mango and sighed. "This is perfect," she said. Max, munching on a peanut butter sandwich, agreed. "I don't think any adventure could top this." They spent the rest of the afternoon exploring more of the island. A short walk inland revealed a small lagoon, its water so clear that they could see schools of tiny fish darting below the surface. Max tried skipping over some stones while Tilly attempted to capture the moment on her camera. "I wish we could stay here forever," Tilly said, snapping a photo of the sun shining through the palm trees. "Maybe one day we can come back," said Uncle Joe, "but we've got to catch our ride home soon." And as the sun began to set, casting the sky in shades of orange and pink, the sound of an approaching boat reached their ears. The small sailing boat pulled up to the beach and the group climbed aboard. Tilly and Max looked back at the island, the adventure still fresh in their minds. As the boat skimmed over the waves, Max turned to Tilly. "What do you think our next adventure will be?" Tilly smiled. "I don't know, but I think it'll be hard to beat this one," she said. Tilly and Max both agreed that the day had been more than just exciting. It had been magical. From the exhilarating skydive to the peaceful picnic on the beach, every moment felt special. And as the boat pulled into the harbour, Tilly and Max knew this was a story they'd tell over and over. And deep down, they couldn't wait to see what kind of adventure would come next.